How's everybody doing? We doing all right? Guys, I went here and I went to school with a lot of you, and you were a lot louder than that when you come to our shows. How's everybody doing? We doing good? There we go. First off, I'd like to thank Dr. Senko. Thank you, Andy, so much for having me. When I got the call to do this, it was really cool. I had seen Andy recently at a wedding that we were performing at, just out of the blue. And last time I saw Andy, he had hair, and that was quite a long time ago. But thank you so much. It means the world that you think enough of us to come back. So the first time I ever picked up a guitar on a stage was right here. About 20 years ago, we played for the senior graduation ceremony, and I played Time of Your Life by Green Day, and it was terrible. I don't know that we're any better now, but we put in a lot of work and a lot of hours to get to this point. So if you've come to see us at a show, thank you so much. If you've streamed any of our songs, thank you so much. We appreciate it. And just to give you a little bit about me, I know some of you know me, and some of you I went to school with. Just by a show of hands, have we met before at any point in the past? A couple of you. Dad, I know we met. You can put your hand down. By a show of hands, did we graduate together if I met you before? Yes, Justine. I saw Yana earlier today. If we had met before, were you a teacher or a faculty member in the building? Had we? Wow, awesome. Chris Simon, hello. Good to see you. So, if you had known me growing up, on the surface, I had probably what seemed like a charmed life, and I'm very blessed to be able to say that. I was an athlete here. I was in the jazz band with Dustin Napoli, who's still in our band back at Holland Middle School, so if you were a teacher there, Chris Simon, like you, thank you. Corey Axler, thank you. So on the surface, I had an experience here that was very different than probably many others. I was a quarterback. I played football. I played basketball and baseball. I was, active in the community. We did things like the jazz band, the orchestra. So I was very involved. I was very privileged to have gotten to have met a very diverse group of people and to work with a very diverse group of people. Underneath of that, none of this was supposed to happen for me. So it means a lot that my dad's here today. I was adopted about 6 weeks after I was born. So my life was a coin flip. I probably wasn't supposed to be here. But by the odds of chance or the act of God or whatever it was, I was able to be afforded this opportunity, and I hit the lottery the day that whoever made that decision made that decision. So every day throughout my life, that's what I wake up to. The fact that by chance or whatever else, I hit the lottery to even be on this stage and have the opportunity to have that day. And that's why a lot of people ask me, where's your mentality come? The positivity, the grit, the determination. That's where it comes from. I don't take a minute or a day of this life for granted because I hit the lottery the minute that I was born and adopted by an incredible set of parents. So let's give my folks a big round of applause if you don't mind. The reality is I was a C student at best, and school is not it for me. So again, if you were a teacher here and you had me, I apologize. I'm sorry. I put all of my effort, all of my determination, and my focus into sports when I was here, and that's the truth. But let me tell you something about what I've learned over the years about teaching and educating. To me, there's a very distinct difference between teaching someone something and educating them on what that is. Quick example, I was in yesterday, Dustin and I came in just to do a quick rehearsal with the band and the choir. And I got to see from the other perspective, Corey Axler, who I've known for a very long time. Corey can teach them the notes, he can teach them to turn the page at the right time, he can teach them the difference between an A and an A flat, but he educates them on how to feel the music. He educates them on where that comes from in your soul to project it with a smile on your face. And those kids see that. I saw them looking at him in that moment and realized this is so much bigger than teaching people things. Teaching people things is the things that you could read in a book and regurgitate back to pass a test. Educating people goes so far beyond that. And kids like me who are C students at best, I was the one that was picking up on all the things that you weren't saying but that you were doing. Because I came from a home, very fortunately, of people that set the right example through everything they did, not necessarily everything they said, as we know. And if you know my dad, Mr. Freedman, why don't you give everybody a wave? Say hello real quick. He's not one for the spotlight, but if you know him well enough, you know that a lot of things that he said weren't teachable moments. But, you know what, we'll get to you in a minute. I want to talk about two other special people in my life that are in this room that influenced my journey very, very directly and very, very heavily. Vince Bettison and Buff Raddick. If you're here, stand up, say hello. Coach Raddick, Coach Bettison, where you at? He's lost a bunch of weight. I used to be able to spot him a lot easier 20 years ago, but he's looking good these days. So, Buff taught me how to run the pick and roll. Vince taught me, in tandem with my dad and some others, how to throw a spiral. They taught me the playbook. They taught me how to run plays. But what they educated me on was grit. They educated me on how to be a leader of men. They educated me on what it means when everyone's looking or when no one's looking to do the right thing so that when you walk out onto that field, you can be the guy in the big moment. You can be the man in the arena. You could be the woman in the arena. They're the things that they educated me on by showing me the way to do it, by showing up at practice. To Lance's point, they just kept showing up. They didn't have the textbook and the playbook and the X's and O's out. They're teachable moments. The moments where you can educate people are when you go beyond that and you educate someone on what it means to handle adversity, what it means when the chips are down and everyone's looking at you to be the determining factor of how to turn that moment around, whether that's on the field, on the court, in the classroom, in the home, in your career. They're the things that you are educating people on without you even realizing it. Those kids, the students, your pupils, the kids on your teams, they're looking to you to educate them on how to handle those moments. Lance Bachman's another example, who you just heard speak. Let's give Lance another big round of applause. Lance, I love you, brother. Thank you again for everything you've done for me. Lance and I have a history that dates back about 15 years. Lance has taught me a lot of things, and most of those things I cannot say in public due to confidentiality reasons and other. Lance and I have had a lot of fun together. I was a very early employee at one of Lance's first companies called OneSEO.com. Lance taught me how to read a P&L. Lance taught me how to sell. Lance taught me how to present and how to do digital marketing. That was my chosen field of profession at the time. But Lance educated me on passion. Lance educated me on what it means to relentlessly pursue something that doesn't necessarily make sense at the time. Lance educated me that success goes well beyond the P&L. And Lance, most importantly, educated me that the difference between winning and losing is that losers aren't the ones that lose. Losers are the ones that quit. So Lance, thank you again for everything you've done for me. You're a huge mentor and an influence in my life. Last but not least, again, as mentioned, none of this was supposed to happen for me. There's two people that are directly responsible for this even becoming an opportunity for me to do. That's my dad and my mom. Both are educators. My dad taught in Yellow House for 31 years at Holland Middle School. Raise your hand if you're from Holland Middle School today. My deepest condolences to you if you've ever worked with that man right there. He was in the same classroom for 31 years. He taught special ed. He taught Lance and many others. And he used to spit sunflower seeds on the floor of his classroom. Sorry, it's true. My dad taught me many things over the years. He, and combined with others, taught me how to throw a spiral. He taught me how to negotiate when buying a car. He's taught me a lot of things about how to maintain a home. But the most important thing that my dad ever did and continues to do as he lives 5 miles away and is raising my girls with me, is my dad educated me on how to be a man, how to be a good father. For someone that didn't have and wasn't supposed to have a fighting chance to be on a stage like this or anywhere, that man stepped up for me from the minute that I was born. He educated me on toughness, on determination, on showing up, on lacing up your sneakers and running to and from your practice, rather than just getting a ride there and being soft. He educated me on what it means to be a leader, what it means to be a man. And that song that you guys just heard right there was driven and written by a lot of the experiences that my father taught me as an educator. It's not about the books, it's not about the P&L, it's not about the X's and O's in the playbook. These kids are looking to you to educate them. That goes far beyond anything they're going to learn in a book. Last but not least, my mother, who's obviously still with us, just not physically in the room today. My mom taught me how to make meatballs. And they're damn good too. She's Italian and she doesn't mess around in that kitchen. My mom taught me how to take a fireball shot. There it is. My mom taught me how to drink on my 21st birthday. We took about 15 fireball shots. To this day, she claims that she can race and beat you taking a shot of fireball. So challenge accepted. They live in Warminster, if ever you're looking to have a drinking buddy. I'm only throwing her under the bus because she's not here and she was supposed to be. So this is all recorded. We'll send this to her later. But my mom educated me on being compassionate, being empathetic. I don't know where she gets it from. I don't know why she's so patient with people, especially me. I never could understand it. And what the two of them together educated me on is that though we are not bonded by blood, you can be bonded by spirit with those in your classroom. It goes so far beyond teaching. These are the things that you can educate these kids on. Be a mentor, be a leader, show up for them. Show them grace, show them patience, because one day they're going to need it. There's times at home when I have 3 kids, 3 girls under 7 years old. God bless me, I know. There's times where I need every bit of that. And physically, I'm very blessed that I can call my father and my mother and say, hey guys, I need a minute. Can you come over while I go take a run and clear my head? They're there every single time. From the minute I was born till this moment right now, when my dad's still sitting right here, they kept showing up. That educates me on how to be a good person. And to me, that's bigger than anything. So I'll leave you guys with this. If you take nothing away from this, remember that there is a dramatic difference between teaching and educating. Teaching is the books, the X's and O's, the fundamentals. The A students will follow it, the C students might not hear it. The F students, their heads are going to be in the clouds. What we're here to do is educate people. How to be young men, how to be young women, how to handle adversity, how to become leaders. In your community, in the home, to your spouse, to your kids, to your grandkids. I appreciate you guys having me so much. I'm so blessed to be on this stage, and to this day, at 38 years old, I still feel like the same lottery winner that I was when that man adopted me 38 years ago. Thank you so much, appreciate it.
Nice job.
Thank you,
buddy.
appreciate it.
All right, we ready to sing?
Yes, sir.
All right.